Hello. Hello, Facebook. I haven't been live for a few weeks. That thing called Christmas kind of got in the way a bit. So I'm just going to sit and wait until I see somebody is watching. There's always a little delay. And it just helps me feel confident that I am live, despite the screen telling me I'm live. I like to just have a wait. I'm just going to drink. I can't see anybody watching at the moment. I'm wondering if it's not showing me where the people... Ah, yes, I can see. Fabulous. Hi, Mum. Hi, Sylvia. And I know Maxine's going to be watching very soon if she's not watching already. So we've had a little chat on Messenger. Hello. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Sylvia. And hello, Mum. And hi, Lorna. Oh, that's great. I know I'm live. So thank you for joining me today. It's been a little while just since I did a live. I was checking back actually, and I was trying to find what project I did last, and I've still forgotten what it was. But anyway, it's a new year and I'm aiming to do some regular lives again. I'm not promising every week because I'm back doing in-person classes once a month, and that takes time to design and prep. But I'm hoping to at least do a couple of lives a month. That's my aim anyway. So yeah, I'm not a resolution maker, but I am a goal setter. So my goal for this year is to do a couple of lives a month. So that should be great. I'm giggling now because I can see comments popping up. Hello, Mama B. Hello. Yes, I'm Mama B. So what am I going to talk to you about today, and what am I going to demo? Well, new catalogue, new year, new catalogue, Sale-A-Bration. However, I'm going to put a bit of a twist on this because yes, we have a fab new catalogue and it is Sale-A-Bration, and that's important because as crafters, we want to get good value for money. So I am going to talk to you today about and demonstrate some products about good value for money. And I also want to just remind you all that we also have items that are not in publication. So I'm going to talk a bit about that. I'm going to share with you a couple of cards that I actually made in class last week. So Lorna was in class and Lorna has made these cards, but I'm hoping that you'll still enjoy the demonstration anyway, Lorna. It's about rainbows and bright colours and something just so cheerful, and a couple of techniques as well. So before I spin the camera around though, let me say a couple of things that make me happy, because that's what I usually do. So I usually start with 3 things that have made me happy since I last spoke to you. Because it's been such a long time, lots of things have made me happy. I'm not going to say Christmas makes me happy because I'm not too fussed about Christmas. I like time off work, so that made me happy. And just some really great things on telly. Again, I'm not a telly addict, but in the winter months I do like to watch some good drama, and my favourite Silent Witness is back on. Really enjoying that. I love Call the Midwife, it's just ace. So I'm enjoying a bit of telly. Picked my crochet hooks back up, and I'm busy crocheting, so being creative with different things. And of course, new catalogue, new stamp sets. I've been playing, having some time off, so hopefully you've seen my posts and things. So lots to make me happy. And yesterday the sun did shine. I'm just not even going to dwell on today because I've been out into town to do my grocery shopping and I got drenched. It's foul here, so we won't talk about that. What we're going to do is look for the rainbows instead of the rain. So there. I'm going to spin the camera around and I'm going to cross everything because... Oh, Ali, hi. Ali's crocheting at the moment. Oh, comment if you like about what you're crocheting, and hop over to our group, the Crafty Beehive, and post some pics as well, because we always love to share what we're all creating over on the Beehive. So let me, cross fingers, because I've had a few moments where camera doesn't turn, so I'm being right. I'm going to spin you down. Marvellous. I think sometimes what I've learned with this phone of mine is that sometimes I'm a bit impatient and I don't think it's switched. I've noticed this when I've been chatting with Mum on an evening. Now, can we see this grid sheet? I'm wondering whether to... I'm not even going to faff. We're going to leave it like this. So, this is where you find me online, and this is my current host code or shopper's code. So when you're prompted, if you're ordering online, just pop that in and I can send you an extra freebie. So I want to talk to you about mini catalogue. We have annual catalogue. We have 2 mini catalogues a year, and we have had 2 Sale-A-Brations this year. I believe we're only having 1 Sale-A-Bration. This is January and February this year. So back in the day when I first started, it's 11 years this month actually, it's my 11th anniversary. We used to have Sale-A-Bration for 3 months. It's now just until the end of February, so please don't hang on for the end of Sale-A-Bration thinking it runs into March, when it doesn't. It actually finishes February. So we've got Sale-A-Bration, which is brilliant because it's about free stuff, and I'm all for free stuff. Crafting is a wonderful, wonderful hobby, but goodness, it can get expensive. And yes, I'm in the business of sales. However, I'm also a thrifty crafter and I like to get good value. You'll often see me demonstrating the same stamp set in different ways, or using a stamp set in a different way than it's perhaps been designed for. So I do like to get good value from everything that I buy myself, and that includes Stampin' Up. So yes, exciting mini catalogue. It does last though until the end of April, so January to April. It actually finishes on the 1st of May. So yes, there are lots and lots of wonderful new things in here, and I'm only sharing one of them today. Just one, and that happens to be a set of dies. And that is it. The rest I'm sharing with you are products that you'll have seen before. I'm also going to share with you some free papers from Sale-A-Bration. One thing I do want to just mention though, whilst I've got the new mini catalogue out on my desk, is just a couple of things that are different. So when you open up the new catalogue, which we're allowed to do now, and I've had this since November, right on the very first page 3, we've got a new symbol. I always suggest and recommend that you learn to read the catalogue like a magazine, that you don't just flick through and pick out the stamp sets that you love. I mean, of course, do that, but learn to read the catalogue and take note of all the different things, because we have a lot of jargon with Stampin' Up. So a new icon, CP. So when you see stamp sets marked with C and P, new for this time, this catalogue, they're available in both cling and cling or photopolymer. So you can see this stamp set here. I'm going to just pick it up, this page, and just bring it up a little bit. See, I like this new symbol, CP. This stamp set is available in cling and photopolymer. Same stamp set, 2 different materials, and watch for other sets just like this throughout the catalogue, and choose the material that you like the best. So there we go. Same great stamp set, same images, but available in cling with 1 item number, or photopolymer with another item number. So just be careful if you are ordering and you prefer the red rubber cling or the clear photopolymer, same price. So just something new in the catalogue. And I've not picked that stamp set for any other reason that that's the new symbol, the new way of providing the stamp sets in those 2 different ways. And I just wanted to point that out. Now that is all I'm going to do with the new mini. And you might think, have I lost my mind? It's a new mini. I've had it since November, and I haven't been able to open it and show you anything. The only other thing I will show you is I want to turn to this page, Discover More. So these are things that have carried over from our autumn and winter mini, I always want to call it. So we've got some popular products from previous catalogues are still available online. Okay, so there's a little list of them. The ones with the ticks, yay, they're the ones I already had, so I'm really chuffed about that. So these are the things that I can carry on using that I purchased from the other mini. Now they're not in publication, so this is what I'm talking about when things go out of publication but are still available to purchase. And one more thing before I close this up entirely, if I can quickly find it. Here we go, this fabulous stamp set, The Return of the Gnomes. So we've got another gnome, fabulous and fun gnome stamp set. And if you notice here that the gnome dies that coordinate with the stamp set, not in a publication, they're actually available online, so web only, the gnome dies that match the stamp set. So please learn to read the catalogue, because we do have some web only, out of publication, so not published. Because I don't know about you, but I like to sit down with my paper catalogue with a cup of tea and a piece of cake and flick through. I think it's nice to be analog and not digital sometimes. I get this comment a lot from customers. They can't wait to get the catalogue, even if it's available in PDF or online. They like to have the paper copy. So today I'm talking about things that are not available in a publication, but it's worth remembering that they are available. So kits, we have a fantastic selection of kits. So if you know somebody who wants to try crafting for the first time, or even if you're going on holiday, kits are fab to take with you, or maybe you just can't get in your craft room at the moment, you're having some decorating done, or one of my customers' husbands has taken over the dining room where she usually crafts because he's been working from home. Kits, fabulous. They're not in any publication anymore, they're all online, and the reason for that is because we can add new kits when they come online, and when kits sell out we can take them off. We can actually mobilise really quickly with kits and be adding and taking away really quickly. Clearance rack is always online, and there are some great products at the moment on clearance rack, one of which I'm going to be demonstrating today. And then special offers. So throughout the year we have special offers. Now I'm going to remind you of a special offer that we had last year. So from the 1st to the end of September last year we had this perfect partners offer. You may remember that we had some stamp sets in the catalogues. I think they were mostly in the mini, but one of them was in the, I think this one was in the main catalogue. So the Apple Blossoms, Apple Harvest stamp set, Fresh Cut Flowers stamp set, Birthday Piggies, Trimming the Tree, Waterfall, Canyon, and Yeti to Party. We brought out some matching coordinating dies for a limited time only. Well, some of those dies are now available on clearance rack, and one of them I'm going to demonstrate today. So my first card is this rainbow card using the Apple Blossoms dies, and I'm also going to use the stamp set just to remind you. So yes, we've got a fabulous new mini catalogue, and we have Sale-A-Bration, but we also have these things that are out of publication. So please visit my online store and have a look at what's on special, because it's really good to get a bargain. It's January, we all look for sales in January, and Sale-A-Bration is no exception. I'm going to take a seat, so I've just, oh bless you Shaz, I'm sending lots of love. I do want to get good sales. We all look in January for sales, and our Sale-A-Bration really fits that. So for every £45 you spend, you qualify for a freebie. There are a couple of items in here that are actually £90 sales. So one of them is this, oh, I've just knocked a flower off. I'll stick that back on. One of them is this fantastic stamp set here, and my third card in class was using that, and that was this card. And I used my Stamparatus And I've made so many cards with that. Here's a couple more different ones, and I've also used the free Sale-A-Bration designer series paper that I'm going to highlight today, and that's the other £90 spend, and that's this one. So if you spend £90 you qualify for this bumper pack of DSP. It's 48 sheets. Now it's in my cupboard, I'm not getting it out. It's 12 by 12, really lovely colours, lots of pastel colours, but as you'll see, bright colours as well. So don't be if you're not into pastels and you like your brights, don't be put off by this picture, because the bright colours really do come through, and you can mix your brights from Stampin' Up with that DSP. So it's 12 by 12 and it's a bumper pack of 48 sheets. You get 4 of each and they're double-sided. So if you're in two minds whether to go for that or to go for maybe a couple of other packs of the DSP, we're spoilt really for DSP in this Sale-A-Bration. It's a really beautiful DSP. So today I'm going to share with you this card and this card, two really super duper bright colours, rainbows. Let's have some rainbows and some joy. So this one I'll share with you first. Let's get cracking. And I've prepped some of my stuff now. I know Maxine wants to craft along, so I will just take my time a little bit with this one, even though I've prepped ahead. Now Maxine, if you don't have these dies or flower dies to make this card with, I want to encourage you just to have a look through your dies, have a look at your punches perhaps, and see what shapes you can punch out, and just get your scraps out, make a rainbow. You just need 5 colours. In class I only used 4 colours for this card. I've added an extra colour, and the reason for that was just time available in class for die cutting. So what do we need to, and I want to show you the feature of this card is it's let's use up our DSP. So it's a tri-fold and it's a lot of DSP and one piece of card for the back. A nice clever way of using up your DSP. I will just fetch out the first card that I made when I was trialing this was also using DSP, and this DSP is actually on clearance rack at the moment, or it was last time I looked, which was I think yesterday. I've forgotten what it's called. I think it's the Something Harvest DSP. Lots of lovely navy and lots of yellows with it. I think there was also some Calypso coral in with this DSP. So you can see I've just used Night of Navy cardstock, and here I just reinforced the edge with a piece of cardstock, and I've used very simply a sentiment, a punch and a couple of little bits just to decorate. So that was the first one I actually made when I was just testing this out. So what you will need for this card, let me just get all my bits and bobs, is a piece of card and a piece of DSP that coordinate with each other. And your card needs to measure 14.8 and 10.5 centimetres. So it's like half a card, half a regular card blank. You're just using one piece. And then your piece of matching DSP needs to measure 25 centimetres by 10 centimetres. So let me just help you with those measurements. I'll just write them down carefully. If I can just grab a pen. So your card blank needs to be 14.8 centimetres this way and 10.5 centimetres that way. And then your piece of DSP needs to be 25 centimetres this way by 10 centimetres that way. Now we're going to score our designer series paper, and we're going to score it at 10, and we're going to score it at 20. Let me just get my trimmer out, and I can pretend to do that. So I'm going to get my trimmer and extend the leg. just move some of these bits out, and I will just stand up. Oh yes, we're in shot, that's great. So we've got our piece of designer series paper, 25 by 10, and we're going to score it at, let me see, it'd be this way round. We're going to score it at 10 centimetres. You like the sound effects? And we're going to score it at 20 centimetres. And that will give us this little piece that's 5 and that Z fold. And you can decide which way round you want it, so you could fold it that way round if you wanted, or that way round, just deciding on which pattern you want sort of facing you, if you like. The other thing that you need to make this card in this style, so if you're going for a rainbow, just go through your scraps. And all I did was I found bits and pieces of scraps in rainbow colours, just this size, so just scraps. So these pieces here, what do they measure? Oh gosh, throwing things. So we've got sort of like 10 centimetres by 5 centimetres, and I managed to get one large flower, 2 small flowers, and a couple of leaves out of each piece, and they were die cut. So I've used the Apple Harvest stamp set just for the sentiment. In class I used a different stamp set for a happy birthday sentiment, but I wanted just to remind you that this Apple Harvest stamp set is currently out of publication, but it is available because it was in the autumn and winter mini, but it's carried over, so it's still available. Item number 159944, but if you go online and search for Apple Harvest, you will find it online. And it's a red rubber cling mount stamp set with these lovely images. And then we had these coordinating dies on special offer back in September, and these are currently on clearance rack. Now I am a bit daft because I didn't look up how much they're actually on clearance rack for. Can't remember how much they've been reduced by, but they are while stocks last, available on clearance rack, so a bargain. And if I had been clever and really prepared, I would have found out. So we also need for this card a piece of basic white to go inside, and a piece of basic white to pop a sentiment on the outside. So again, I've gone into my scrap drawer and I've just pulled out a little piece like this, and I'm going to use a punch for the sentiment, but the piece for the inside can be as big as you like. I think this one, let me just see with my ruler, I think it's maybe 8 centimetres by 12, so I've done it a little bit smaller than I normally would, but that's just so that we can see much more of that designer series paper. It really does show off the pretty patterned paper. And we need a piece to reinforce the edge of the designer series paper where it folds over, so it needs to be 10 long, but it needs to be, say, 3 centimetres wide, and you can simply just adhere it to the back and have it plain. But because in the Apple Blossoms die set we've got this lovely scalloped edge, I'm actually going to die cut that piece using that scalloped die, so I'm going to do that just now. I've already gone ahead and pre-cut all of my flowers just to save time and save your sanity not watching me cut a million flowers. But like I say, if you've got a punch, and we've got some nice flower punches, we've got this one in the annual catalogue, that would work really well because it's already punching out your flowers in one punch. So we've got that one in the annual catalogue, and we've got a brand new flower punch in the new mini catalogue. I'm sure you've got stuff in your stash as well. I'm just going to cut this. Just a rainbow is such a lovely bright thing. So I'm just going to line that up. I could use a piece of washi. I used washi in class. You can see the remnants still stuck to my die. I'm just going to run that through. Now this die, get rid of that machine. This die not only cuts a nice scalloped edge, quite a nice deep scallop as well. It also leaves you with this piece if you wanted to use this on a project, like a sort of spiky scallop, you could use that. But it also leaves you with, if I can just tap that out, this really thin scallop as well. Now if you've got your fine tip glue or some glue on a sponge, you could stick that on a project as well. So I'm going to pop those to one side. I might use them on another project. And I'll just pop my die back with the others. And that's it for die cutting just from me for the minute. We'll do some assembly and some stamping, I think. I'm just going to reach for a punch. I'm choosing to use this label punch for my sentiment because it's just a nice size. And I've stamped the sentiment twice. So I've got thanks for your kindness and thanks for your kindness inside. I don't think you can say thank you too much if you really mean it. So maybe a bit unusual, but why not? So I'm just going to pop that there so we can still see it. There's quite a bit of gluing involved with this rainbow, but it's fine. It's all good fun. So the way we assemble is really simple. We've just got this plain piece here and we're going to adhere the folded DSP to the plain piece of card. So I'm going to do that, and you can use glue of your choice. I'm going to use some Tombow multi-purpose. I am still using up, I thought I'd got to the bottom of a big box of almost dead Tombow glue that has been left from classes over the years, and I mean over the years, and I thought I'd just got to the bottom of it. And then for class last week I decided to tidy up my sticky glue stations and discovered that 3 of them really needed replacing. So I have 3 sets of sticky stations and 2 glues in each one. So we just adhere that to that. We're going to stick this die cut piece to this edge. Now I found the best way of doing it was actually to put the glue on this piece and then close this too, so then you can get it nice and straight. I found that if I tried to stick it that way, I couldn't quite see if it was straight because this straight edge is obscured by this piece. So I'm actually going to use, let's have a look. Normally I would use Tombow, we get some wiggle room. I'm going to use some Stamp and Seal this time. I'm just going to see and just advance it a little bit, and I'm going to pull my Stamp and Seal just right down that edge. Just pop that back on there. I've had a right good tidy up of my desk. I went for a shopping trip with Lorna on Sunday and we had such a good day out. We went round all the bargain shops in Retford and we bought bits and pieces for crafting and tidying up our desks, and we had such a good day out. Now I'm just going to do some stamping. Now you could choose any colour of ink from your rainbow. So let's go with Orchid Oasis. It's out on my desk for the next project. So let's go with Orchid Oasis, and I'm just taking that thanks for your kindness stamp from the Apple Harvest stamp set. I'm going to stamp it once on this piece that I'm going to punch, and I'm going to stamp it on this piece for the inside, and I'm just going to have to hope that this goes on straight because I can't get my head over it because the camera's in the way. And I can stick this piece straight inside, so ever so simple. Let's go with Tombow again. What a great way of using up your DSP. So come on, hands up, who's got stashes of DSP that they never use? I had a customer who used to buy 2 of each, 1 to stroke and 1 to use. And why not have a fab card where you can use your DSP up when we've got some DSP on offer for free? let's be using it up. Let's get it out of our cupboards. Let's have a New Year resolution. That's coming from me, who doesn't make resolutions, to use our DSP more. And this is a great card for using DSP up. So I've got my sentiment here, and I will stick that on first. Now I did take care to line my die up, so I should have equal scallops, and I think from memory 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6, so I need to be in between these two scallops here, and I just want to stick half of my sentiment on. So again, if I turn that over, let's grab some Stampin' Seal, and I know it needs to be on this side. Let's just have a couple of bits. 1 2 3 4 5 6, so we can stick it about here. If I bring in my first card, I did a double label here, so I actually doubled up my label, did that cutting it up the middle and putting it underneath. Works really brilliantly with a big sentiment. It doesn't really need much more decoration. Couple of sparkly leaves. Doesn't really need that much more decoration. What a great card to make. You know, we struggle with masculine cards. We could use a more masculine DSP and just a sentiment and just some plain leaves or something. Nice big sentiment. Job done. Really simple. But using up that DSP, great. Oops, just throwing things around today. So now I'm going to take time to stick on all my flowers and leaves, and we're going to lay them out in a rainbow fashion. So I can use my previous card as a guide, but if I was doing this from scratch, what I would do is just lay them out, make sure I get my colour order the right way, because sometimes we think we know what a rainbow looks like, and then we start sticking and we might just get one out of sync. So we need them in that kind of order, and I would suggest that you start sticking from the middle and work your way up and work your way down. So we've got 5 colours. We know we need to put we've got 5 colours, 1 2 3 4 5, we've got 6 colours. We need 3 at the bottom, 3 at the top, with an overlap in the middle. So we know that we've got yellow and green here, and if we start to just stick them on like this, I don't want all my big flowers in a row. I want them to be a bit staggered. So I know that if I stick my yellow and green in a staggered fashion, and then I can work my way up and down the card. So why don't we go with some mini dimensionals as well? I'm sure I've got some minis over here somewhere, and we'll pop some of these big flowers up on minis. So Maxine, did you decide to craft along, or did you decide just to watch this demo? I'm going to do alternate big flowers. I think I'll do one on a dimensional and one flat down and tuck it under. I'll stand up and have a look at comments in a tick. So let's go with my next big one. Needs to be about there, and we'll go something like that, and we'll get the next big one and we'll go up on a dimensional. You get the idea. So I'm just going to sit here and stick, and you can all chat amongst yourselves and tell me what you did over the holidays, over Christmas and New Year, and what did Santa bring any of us? Who got anything really exciting for Christmas? I don't think I did. I don't think I got anything really exciting for Christmas, because we just don't do that much between us. I've got my favourite perfume. I think because we've never had kids, it's never really bothered me Christmas. It's just one of those things. I like to have the time off if I can. And this year I did. Pop that one up on a dimensional. Oh, it might not go. I don't think the little flowers go on a dimensional, to be honest. And I'm just going to try and layer these the best I can. I'm being careful that they don't sort of overlap the card at this side. We had a nice walk on Christmas morning. Not socialised too much, but just enough. Went up to Skipton to see my mum and my nieces. I guess the most exciting thing that happened over the holiday was my gorgeous nephew who lives in Australia got married. It was really exciting because although I didn't go to Australia, obviously, to the wedding, we thought he wouldn't have any family members there or indeed any friends from the UK there. And my brother at the last minute decided he would just fly out. So it was really exciting for us, for me and Mum, watching Sam fly across the globe and arrive, and he left my sister-in-law and my nieces behind at home. He had Christmas and Boxing Day with them, and then he got a flight out to Canberra and went to the wedding. And the wedding was on New Year's Eve, and what with the time delay and everything, it was quite exciting. And sort of, we had some anxious moments waiting for pictures, and there was a bit of a delay. Now I'm just going to actually grab my bone folder because I'm getting some really sticky fingers pressing these down. Yeah, so that was really exciting, I have to say. Oh, look at this lovely rainbow building up. I don't know whether I'm just not adding enough Tombow or whether it's because, I don't know. I feel like they're not sticking down. I think it's because of the layers, to be honest. They're just not sticking down. And the other thing might be just because it's flipping freezing in here. Let me have a look at... Oh yes, Mum tracked his flight. Yes, yes. Oh, Ali. My name is Ali and I too love hoarding DSP. Yes, get your DSP out and make some of these cards. They're quite quick. You mean they don't have to be as layered and elaborate as these. Go with the design of my first one, just with a label, sentiment, couple of punched leaves, and get a stack done. In fact, dare I say it, dare I even suggest it? You know what I'm going to say, don't you? What about that Christmas DSP? I bet you've got some of that left over. How about making up some Christmas cards using your Christmas DSP in this fashion? Christmas sentiment, couple of holly leaves, bish bash bosh, job done. I think I've even tempted myself, because it is a joke. It is a running joke about me and Christmas and the Grinch and Christmas cards. Last year I wrote in my diary in August, make your Christmas cards, you know it makes sense. And then in September I'd written, you didn't make them, did you? You've let yourself down. And then in November rather, was it August, September? No, it was October. Why didn't you listen to yourself? If you'd have made your Christmas cards by now, you'd have been laughing. Honestly, I'm not kidding you. I wrote this in my diary last year. And when did I make my Christmas cards? What month? December. Hello. Some got made in November, and I did run a session, did run a class, a Stamper Stack class. But all I could think about until, because we went to Vienna to one stage, all I could think about was making swaps for Vienna. I was just Mrs. Giddy Pants. I couldn't think about Christmas until I'd been to Vienna. I was just in denial. But every year I say I'm going to do it. So, shall we have a Shall I set myself another goal? Because I do like to set a goal. To make some Christmas cards using Christmas DSP in this style. See, just adding some leaves now, and I'm just adding them where I feel like there's a bit of a gap. There's a bit of a gap here, so I can just add a leaf in there. And just really build this up. Ooh, what's wrong with my glue? It's not sticking. I reckon it's because it's cold in here. Are you a bit cold, Tombo? Come on. No, I've got a few leaves left. Let's have a green leaf. I might just go with a green small leaf. Can't see many gaps there. Let's pop one under there. And I think I'm happy with that. I don't think I need to carry on with all of those leaves, but I did cut one large flower, two small flowers and two leaves, or three leaves of each colour. But there, I don't think that needs, personally I don't feel that that needs anything additional. You can pop some bling on if you wanted to. You could even stamp another image inside if you wanted to, but I felt that that was enough for the rainbow card. On this version I did stamp another image inside and no more sentiment, but my tip is to make this layer inside a little bit smaller than you normally would. So normally you might go 10 centimetres or 9.5 centimetres by 14.5. Just make it a little bit smaller. So I think it was 8 by 12, and then you can really see that DSP. So a great way to use your DSP up. Great way of getting free DSP is Sale-A-Bration. I've got a sneeze brewing. Let me just find a tissue. Excuse me. Hello. Gosh. Excuse me. Oh, I haven't got a cold. It's just that I am a little bit cold in my craft room. Oh, okay. So that's card number 1. Hopefully you've enjoyed that one. Let me just stand up and have a look. Oh, no more comments yet. We're good. We're good. We're good. So great way of using DSP up. Great way to get some free DSP. Is with Sale-A-Bration. There are several DSP packs. I don't know where I've put my catalogue now. Where have I just put my Sale-A-Bration catalogue? Oh, it's over here. So let's have a very quick look. So if you spend £45, there's this beautiful Dainty Flowers DSP, 12 sheets of double-sided, really pretty, very versatile. Yes, it does coordinate with the Dainty Delight bundle in the mini catalogue, but it's floral, and the reverse sides have small patterns on. And if you look at the different colours, so my tip for shopping in the catalogues is just look at the colours and look at what else you've got that will coordinate. Have you got another stamp set? It's floral, it's going to coordinate with lots of things that you've possibly already got in your stash. So when you're shopping, go for those things that you really need to either stock up on, maybe like your consumables or tools, things you've been looking at. Yes, it's fabulous to look at coordinating bundles, but to get your freebies, I would say, and just to watch, because we're all watching our pennies in January, is to really have considered purchases. £45 spend, you could spend £45 on those things that you really, you know, will last you a bit longer. Perhaps you've not got tools, bone folder. I was talking to Maxine earlier about Take Your Pick tool, a really useful tool. It's got all sorts of bits and pieces. You've got your spatula end and your pokey tool end, and there's also, it comes with another end, which is your ball, double-ended ball scoring tool, and you just swap that one for that one. And then this end is your pickup tool, which is a putty end. You twist it and some sticky putty comes out. It should be popping out, and you can pick up your small bits and bobs like sequins and really tiny bits of die cuts. Helps you just, if you're not adept with tweezers, or you prefer not to use a tweezer, that's a really useful tool. So spend wisely. The Dainty Delight bundle will be there until the end of April in the new catalogue. So that's one pack of DSP. We've got another coordinating DSP, Day at the Farm, Farmyard Scenes. I've popped this on my order at the moment. I'm not really into the farmyard scenes. I don't have children to make cards for, but I know that the reverse sides of these DSPs, there's a plaid, there's a small print, there's another small one that's got tiny hexagons. It looks like chicken wire, but I know that will coordinate with my bee stamp set. There's a stripe underneath this one. So I know that the reverse sides of all of our DSP are going to be useful and usable with lots of other projects. So look beyond the initial design. And then there's this DSP, another floral, and at first glance looks quite dark, and if you're not into those dark rich jewel colours, which I just think are beautiful, just really study it. You can see the reverse of this one is pale, so I'm reckoning that that one's petal pink. We've got the reverse of this one is green, and I think that that's possibly Old Olive, although it says Evening Evergreen. I don't think that that one looks quite as dark. And we've got Fresh Freesia, Calypso Coral and Blackberry Bliss. Lovely colours. You can see how pale this one is. So again, don't be put off, it's free. If you're going to spend and get something for free, you might absolutely love this, and I do. I really love this. I'm waiting for this one to come as well. So there your DSP, and then like I said, this big bumper pack of 48 pieces, 48 sheets of 12" by 12". A really great pack, lots of lovely bright colours to go for. So let's get your DSP stashes used up. Make a stack of these cards, ever so easy, really easy to decorate. Hopefully that's inspired you. Let's have a look at card number 2 then. Another rainbow. This one a bit more detailed, but I'm going to share with you a technique, couple of techniques. So a blending brush technique, using a mask, but also a technique for lining up your die cut lettering. So this is using one new product from the mini catalogue and a couple of products from the annual catalogue. So I'm going to use Biggest Wish, a really versatile stamp set. You can use the big words, the big block words, with the little words. So I could stamp Big Happy Italic Birthday. I'm just holding that on an angle, hoping that that's not, yes it is, just by angling it. There you go. So you can stamp the big words and the italic words, and you've also got this lovely little accent stamp as well. So we can have Happy Birthday, we can have Happy Birthday, we can have Hello Friend, Thanks, and lots of different combinations from the stamp set. A really versatile stamp set from the annual catalogue. Brand new from the mini is a set of alphabet dies. I said last time I bought alphabet dies, that's me done with alphabet dies. I'm not buying any more alphabet dies. And what does Stampin' Up do? Bring out this alphabet set, which I have to have. It's got numbers in it, so all you use is you can do your special birthday cards that need numbers on for those big birthdays, your kiddies' birthdays. We've got an ampersand and we've got an exclamation mark. I cannot see that I will die cut an exclamation mark because the little blob at the bottom's really, really tiny. But we do have that, and we have some dashes. We have a little greater than, less than arrow that looks almost like a little heart. I haven't die cut that yet. And we have 2 more little dots, which again just might be a die cut too far for me. And we've got the special foreign letters, so the O and the E together, the C cedilla for French, and in German when we have a double S, we have, it looks like a B to us, but it's actually a double S for German. So if you have German friends and French friends, I think the O and the E together is possibly Dutch. I'm not sure, it could be French. And of course the dots would be your umlauts, used for your umlauts in German, and your little greater and less than would be your cap for French. I'm remembering my alphabets now from school. So yes, the reason I had to have this alphabet is because it's lovely skinny letters and they fit. You can fit Big Happy, the big but they're not bold. They're big, but they're nice and skinny, and oh, they're just lovely. So I had to have them. So nice new alphabet die set from the mini catalogue. I've pre-cut my letters, so you don't have to watch me die cut. But the other product that I'm going to use on this card is the masks. So I've used Artistic Mix decorative masks. They're £9.50 from the annual catalogue, and they're on page 128. Now page 128 in the annual catalogue is our wow page. I've labelled it up, I've got my tabs on, and it's the wow factor. And this is the page where when you're looking for something in the annual catalogue and you say, where is masks, blending brushes, Wink of Stella, daubers, heat gun, where do we find Memento and stays on? It be on the wow factor page. This is the page where you find everything else that you can't find anywhere else in the catalogue. So I would suggest that you put a tab on that page, the wow factor, and have a look there, because there's some bits and pieces that you might overlook. The Artistic Mix decorative masks are brilliant. I love a mask. I've done so many projects with masks in the past. So have a look back over my lives, because I did one with a lovely layering mask set. Now in this set you get, these are layering masks as well. You get this one, which I'm going to use today, which is like a trellis, but you can layer it up with this one, so you can mask the design, this pretty design, and then take that off and reline that up and get the trellis effect over the top, so they layer up nicely. And then we have this really big bold plaid, so you can mask, blend, and then pop this one over, this other grid over the top, and you get a really lovely plaid. Brilliant, really nice for building up those backgrounds. You also get 2 label masks, which you can use like this, so you can actually blend a colour. Let me see if I've got enough ink on here, probably just enough to show you. So you can use it like this, or you can use the negative. Sorry about rattling. I usually don't like rattling on camera because it makes the mic do all sorts of weird things. You get the negative or cutout piece, and you can mask like this. And you get the negative piece. So really versatile set of masks. So I'm going to just pop those carefully to one side. We only need this one, and just pop those to one side so I don't drop them. So another addition to your toolkit. So I would class this as a tool. It's a product that you're going to use multiple times on multiple different projects. Really good value for money to add to your kit, just like blending brushes. So I guess what I'm really saying this month is, yes, it's nice to have a brand new catalogue, but let's be wise with our purchases, because we've just had an expensive month for Christmas. We love a January sale. We've got Sale-A-Bration. Let's make good use of it, but let's be wise with our purchases. Now for this card, it's a landscape card, and I've cut it this way instead of tent style. I've cut it and scored it this way, and I'm using Mango Melody, a lovely bright orange colour. I'm not normally an orange or yellow person, but I love Mango Melody. It's such a lovely bright colour. I'm using a layer of black, but can you see what I've done here? Being thrifty, I've die cut my letters from my matte layer of black before I started, and I'm actually giving Very Vanilla a bit of love, because often we just go straight for our basic white cardstock and we forget about Very Vanilla. This was almost a happy accident. I don't mind telling you that when I was planning and prepping for class, I'd run out of Whisper White basic white envelopes. Mum to the rescue, thanks Mum. So I designed this card using Very Vanilla because I knew I had some Very Vanilla envelopes, but Mum did rescue me for the other 2 white cards. Now I'm going to lay this mask face down. The masks have a slightly matte side and a shiny side. I want to lay it shiny side down, and I want to take my piece of vanilla and I want to lay it on top, and I'm taking care to just line it up sort of equally, so I've got equal space around. And I'm actually going to use a piece of washi tape, not something that's Stampin' Up! Carry anymore, but I had a trip into town and I got this, oh wrong drawer, because I only use washi tape for sticking things down like this. £3 from the works, a pack of 8 washi tapes, £3. So I pretty much just use washi tape for this kind, so I use it a bit in journaling. Now what you just didn't see me do on camera was I popped my washi tape on my leg, on my jeans, and lifted it, and it just reduces the tackiness, because sometimes washi tape, it should be low tack, sometimes it's a bit vicious. Now I'm going to flip that whole lot over so my mask is stuck to my card base, and I'm just going to actually anchor the whole lot down. It doesn't matter how sticky this is because it's not going to tear. If it does, it's just tearing my grid sheet. So just a little bit, and that just helps hold it down. God, I sound like I'm full of cold, and I really am not full of cold. It's just a bit chilly in here, and that sneeze has made me feel a bit snivelly. Right, so I've picked my inks for a gorgeous rainbow. I'm going with Orchid Oasis, Tahitian Tide, Parakeet Party, Mango Melody, and Sweet Sorbet. You can see I've written Mango Melody on there with a marker pen because over time the labels and my eyesight, when I'm looking across at my storage system, I just can't quite pick out which one's Mango Melody, which one's Pumpkin Pie. So I've just written on there with a marker pen. And I'm going to use a blending brush for each one. Oops, gosh, I've got dropsies. There we go. I'm going to use a blending brush for each one. And my technique for this card is to not use the entire mask, is just to do a portion of the mask. You can see from my card I've still got some very vanilla at the top and bottom, so it's like some glue on there. It's like a sort of a faded rainbow top and bottom. Just have a little drink. Oh, I wish that was a cup of tea instead of a glass of water. So my technique for picking ink up from my ink pad is just a circular motion with my finger on the top, and usually I would knock off that first bit of ink so you don't get a blob on your page. So just knock it off and then start to blend. And like I just said, I don't want to go right to the bottom or right to the top. I want to stay in the middle and just do my first colour. Just a bit of a circular motion until most of the inks come off the brush, and then I can pop that ink pad to one side, and that blending brush can go back in the pot. Now I usually do clean off my brushes between uses. I use a microfiber cloth, this kind's like the duster kind or one of those toweling ones, and I just give them a good old circle, and I keep each brush for each sort of colour tone, if you like. So that one's for my blues and purples, and then every so often I'll go and give them a wash. Really easy to clean blending brushes under the tap. So this one I'm going to use Tahitian Tide in a circle, just knock off that first bit, and I'm going to blend over the top of my not Parakeet Party, that's my next one, over the top of my Orchid Oasis. So you're just sort of blending them together but still keeping a portion, and you can go clockwise and anti-clockwise, up and down, remembering just to leave the top and the bottom clear. So that's that one. Pop that one back in the tub. Next one, Parakeet Party, and I'm working quite quickly for the purposes of demonstration. when you do this. You can play around, you can take your time. Let's pick up some more green there. These lovely colours, it's so cheerful. I was really ready for some bright colours after red and green and gold and silver. Really ready for some bright colours. Has anyone had any time to do any crafting over the Christmas period? What for your maid? Ali, you said you're crocheting. That's so nice in winter to do some crocheting. I know Mum's been making a Christmas themed knee blanket, or little blanket throw. And I'm making a cushion with a bee on it. I've had the kit for 2 years. And I've been a bit, don't know, just lost my mojo with crocheting. But I've got it back again. And the bee has stripes of bobble. Oh, what am I doing? I'm putting my finger on ink. Let me just get my little, I keep these just to one side. I'm not a baby wipe or wet wipe fan, so I just keep these little, these are just circles of toweling that a lady on Facebook makes for like cosmetic wipes, and I just have a couple on my desk in a plastic bag, and then when I go and clean my brushes and clean my chamois, I give that a rinse through as well. Now see, I didn't knock off that ink, so I've got a bit of a splodgy. So I'm really going to work the blending on this colour at this end, because I've got a bit of a splodge at the top there. If you keep working it, it does work its way through. Yes, I've been learning to do those big bobble stitches, so my bee on the cushion has stripes of bobble stitch, and it's really quite good fun. I was a bit nervous about doing it at first. I've not done bobble stitch before. So here we go. Let's have a look and reveal our lovely rainbow. There we go. Looks really nice. Nice and bright. And just carefully take that washi tape off the back. And we can bin that piece. Now I've got another technique for you for how to line up our letters. And we could go red to indigo, indigo to red, I don't know which way round you want to have it. So I've pre-cut my letters from my black cardstock layer. Now, if I wasn't demonstrating this card live and I was just making this for myself, I would actually cut 2 sets of letters, and you will get 2 sets of letters out of this layer. There is enough room because there's only a little tiny border. I would cut 2 sets of letters for the word, and I would stack them just to give them a bit more body, a bit more depth. But what I want to show you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up, I'm going to determine where I want my word happy. It's not, doesn't necessarily have to be right in the middle. Where do I want the bottom of my word happy to be? And you see this line on my grid sheet, this dark line, I'm going to put that where I want my word happy to be. Remembering that I want to stamp birthday. In fact, I will stamp birthday first. And I'm going to use black, tuxedo black memento. And let's stamp our birthday first. Let's get that nice and inky. Stamp that down here. There we are. So I'm going to line up, use my grid sheet to good effect. And I'm going to go for some more of that washi tape. Now I really want this to be less tacky, so I'm going to just pop that onto my jeans, because I don't want this corner to tear when I lift it off, but I do want it to just sit still. So I'll reuse those pieces of washi. I'm also going to use my ruler across that line. so I can line up my word happy. Just going to chuck it on for the minute, and let's hope that my little cold hands can work. My nails are a tad on the long side at the minute as well for crafting. I find them a bit more of a impedance than anything. However, I'm getting ready for probably 2 months of splitting and breaking, because I had some glittery nail polish on at Christmas, and it always really makes my nails split. Every time I put it on, I think I shouldn't put it on. Right, now I'm going to get, so this is the tip, I'm going to get some more washi tape. I promise. And I want enough to cover the word and hang off the left edge, but I also want to make it reduced tack, so I'm going to use my jumper or my legs and just pick up some fibres just so it reduces that tack again. And this time I'm going to use what we call a hinge method. I'm going to anchor the washi tape to the left side of my grid sheet, and I'm going to very carefully just let it touch the letters, and then I can hinge it. I can remove my ruler, I can hinge it over to this side. Let's clear the decks a bit. And now I can add my glue to the back of my letters, ready for gluing. I'm just going to anchor that down because it's just sticking to my finger. I'm just going to stick that down there. So now I can get my glue, and I'm going to use Tombow. It's a really old, horrible one, so let me just remove that sticky mess off the top. And I'm hoping I've got enough left, but I'm going to use Tombow, and I'm just going to dot, 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 tiny dots. I'm barely squeezing it so it's not all gushing out. Now if you've got a new Tombow and you can't quite just what's the word, if you can't quite just control the amount of glue, because sometimes if you're in a hot room it will just come out like an erupting volcano, and sometimes if it's a new one and you squeeze it too much, it comes out too much. So if you can't quite control it for little dots, what you can do is you can use your silicone mat and make a little puddle of it, and then use a sponge and carefully sponge it on. But this hinge method should now enable me to lay that word down. I'm not pressing down on the washi tape because I don't want the washi tape to stick to my card. I want the letters to stick to my card, and I want to carefully peel the washi tape back without it tearing. So please, if you're using washi tape, do just reduce that tack and carefully peel back. Now your letters should be perfectly lined up. Super dupes. Nice tip, I think. I'm going to finish this off with some of those little accent crosses, and this could be another one of those tricky masculine cards, because those men folk sometimes are a bit difficult to make cards for. If we wanted it to be prettier for a lady, oh, my tummy's gurgling. I hope that's not coming over on camera. See, I didn't bring my packed lunch. Who brought their packed lunch with them? I definitely didn't bring mine. I had fabulous 11s at 11 o'clock. I had a big cup of tea and a big piece of Christmas cake that my mum made me. So I thought, I won't need any lunch before I do my live. I'll just get something afterwards. Oh dear, now my tummy's really growling. Now obviously I don't want sticky glue. If I'd have put my glue on the back of this one and then stuck it to this, it would have been coming through, and chances are you get sticky fingers again. So let's stick that to the front. There we are. And we could pop this one up on dimensionals even, it would work. You wouldn't be able to see those gaps, but let's think about first class and second class post and large letter stamps, blah, blah, blah. And the cost of postage, like the cost of everything. So let's make a flat card. So yes, I was saying if this was for maybe a female friend, how about we add some bling? So we could add some sequins. I've got some new sequins here from the new mini catalogue, and they're pastel. Now we've got bright colours here, pastel sequins, but I'm going to bet you that pastel sequins will still work with the bright colours. I'm just going to bet you. Let's have a look, because these are really lovely iridescent. Gold goes with everything, and these blues, well, they really pop as well, so I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to use my take your pick tool. Just going to remove that end, and I'll use this spatula end. And some people like to use their putty end, actually. They like to just pick them up like that, and just let's pop them with over those accent stamps. Ooh, putty everywhere, so I'll have use these blue ones. So instead of the accents, we'll have a bit of bling. Or the other way of using your take your pick tool is just to spatula underneath and then spatula off like that. Oh, don't know if you can tell, but my spatula end is absolutely covered in glue, so it's probably easier for me to use my putty end. There we go. So, and in the sequins we get large and small, and I've just gone for the small ones. But yeah, I reckon even those pastels will pick up those, the iridescence of those middle ones will pick up the rainbow colours as well. So we can mix and match pastels and brights. Nothing to say that we can't. Just move some of these tools out of the way. So a couple of lovely cards. You can see the difference in spacing there, but at least they're both straight anyway. I'm not sure whether that word was stamped straight because I couldn't get right over it. Let's get rid of all this and show you those cards once more. I'll just have a quick stand. So there we are, two lovely rainbow cards. Christmas cake without cheese is like a kiss without a hug. Yes, it is. I did have cheese. I love my cheese with Christmas cake, and it is a good Christmas cake, Mum. So there we go, two lovely bright rainbow cards. I hope I've inspired you to get your bright colours out, get your rainbows, some ideas for rainbows, some nice tips for lining up your letters. Hope that that's given you some encouragement to get your alphabet dies out. If you've got alphabet dies, if you haven't, then there's that new set in the new mini catalogue. Hopefully you'll be able to get some freebies from Sale-A-Bration, but just take care over your spending. Just because we've got a new mini catalogue, you don't have to go mad with new stamp sets. The new mini catalogue's here until the end of April, the beginning of May. It finishes on the 1st of May, so it's got plenty of longevity. Spend your money wisely, get your freebies. Don't forget those items that are not in catalogues. The kits, they're lovely to stock up on for gifts for people, and then you can get your freebies as well. Anyone who shops online with me and their order is over £25 will still get a freebie from me anyway. So even if you don't reach that £45 spend for a Sale-A-Bration freebie, if you use that host code, then I will send you a little freebie in the post. So let's spend wisely. Don't forget to love the items that are not in catalogues, but most of all, the most important thing is get crafting. Let's enjoy our crafty time, have some fun, and share with me what you've made, and I hope I've inspired you all. I'm just going to, I was going to swing the camera back round, but I don't need to. I'm just going to say lots of love to everyone, happy crafting, and I will see you on another live very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.